Hello, my name is Irma Cook, and I am 29 years old. I'm a Anishinaabe, and I'm from Lake St. Martin. I'm a mother of three boys, and I'm pregnant with my fourth child, so I'm very excited because it's going to be my only girl. So this is really nerve-wracking for me, but yeah. So I grew up in an CFS my whole life. My mom is a missing and murdered woman, and it's been a challenge growing up. I've had a lot of, challenges and overcoming those barriers. I don't know what to say. Yeah, like my mom, she was murdered in 1991. So I was placed in care since I was 6 months old, and my brother was in care too at the age of 1. I actually got a privileged life of growing up in a foster home for 18 years. My brother was adopted in a home. We didn't really keep in touch. That was something that growing up when I was a child, I felt like I was just a lost person. Like, like when you don't know who your family is, and then you just feel like you're just, in a situation where you don't belong. But I've had many people that actually care about me and my children, and like reconnecting with my brother was one thing that I really wanted when I turned 18. So the thought of me finding him was amazing, because that's something that I know that my mom would wanted. We don't have a bond like a sibling should, but it could be worked on, and one day at a time, I keep telling myself. More about myself. I could be shy, but I could be outgoing. I like to dress up. I've always been the girly type. I have kids, they're boys, so they keep me really active, and dressing them up is cute and fun. But now that I'm going to have a little girl, I'm excited. So we could look matching and look all cute together, and just, it's going to be amazing to have a, experience with a little girl than experience with boys. 'Cause, I already have that. Right. But, yeah, like my mom, this is so hard. My mom, her name was Victoria Cook. She was married with my dad. I don't really know much of their story. I just started reconnecting with my birth family. So, I'm not the type to ask a lot of questions, because I don't really know what to say, because I know that my dad gets a really, choked up when it comes to talking about my mom. But, I know that he loved her really much. And I know that my dad, he has his own issues. And, I used to be an angry person because the way my dad is. And, I didn't understood any of it until I started learning about who I am and my culture and, my background, and understanding what colonization is. And now I totally understand. And, I'm proud to say that I'm a survivor and a warrior in the system. I still have my struggles, because right now my oldest son is in care, and that it really bugs me that he's in care. But I know that, we all make choices in life and we all make mistakes, and it's just, a learning experience in the world. You just got to figure it out and try your best not to make the same mistakes and keep going and smiling. And yeah, what else can I talk about? Oh, sorry. I just got teared up. When it comes to my son, he means the world to me because, I have this saying of, like my first son, I feel like he saved me, spiritually and emotionally, because in my life, it was just when I hit the age limit, and then, my foster family of 18 years totally disowning me. So I kind of just went downhill, and I picked up addictions, drinking. I tried to kill myself a few times. I just didn't understand the whole purpose of being an adult, and I was so lost at that time. And when I had my first, it was just he saved me, like that little boy saved me. And I try my best to give him the world I never had, and a loving mom, even though I had my struggles and my challenges. I tried to do the best thing that I can for him. So he's my little savior, I have a second son, and when DeMarco was 1 year old, I met this guy, and I thought he was amazing, and I thought he was like, maybe this guy could help me and raise my son and give me the tools that I need to parent. Because honestly, when I first had DeMarco, I just didn't know what the heck I was doing, right? So the thought of me becoming a new mother and not knowing what I was doing, I just tried my best, and I always put myself out there and showed my son, stability and just asking for help if you need it. Because honestly, that's one thing that people don't understand, is asking for help, because they think it's a sign of weakness. But really, it's showing your courage and your strength, and asking for help is okay. So I asked for help when I had DeMarco, and I just sorry, I just get so choked up when it comes to my kid. He's like amazing little boy, and he teaches me a lot. All my kids teach me something. There's always something. They're gifted with something. So, so when I had this partner that came in my life, I thought he was amazing, and I fell in love, and then I got pregnant again, and then it just went downhill. It was just, stories. He listened to everybody else. He listened to everybody else's stories about me. I'm not like the greatest, but I've overcome a lot of things in my life, and I had bad things happen to me, but I don't look at that as, it's just, it is what it is, right? So yeah, he kind of broke me spiritually and mentally. He got into my head where I felt ashamed of who I am, and as a woman, am I ever going to be good enough, or am I pretty enough? When I had his kid, DeAndre, that one was hard, because my son gave me life and saved me, my first. Then I didn't know what my second son was, but then I figured it out along the road, and he gives me strength and courage And then my last son, D'Angelo. Sorry. My kids' names are DeMarco, DeAndre, D'Angelo. So I kind of like that unique DE sounds. But yeah, my son, DeAndre, he gave me strength and courage of walking away from abuse. It happened for like 4 years of, him abusing me and my son. Me and my son's been really hurt by it. Like, I didn't know, after we split up 4 years ago, I just fell apart again. I just, I didn't know how to, hold the emotions in me. And I started to pick up on heavy drinking and doing drugs, doing things that, a mother shouldn't be doing. And, I caught addictions and, coping mechanisms. That was one thing. Like, I just wanted to drink and numb the pain away. But, I knew that wasn't right. But I didn't know how to, didn't know how to cope with anything. So I drank and I lost my kids. So that was a big U-turn in my life because, I always promised myself I would never put my kids in the situation I've been in. And I guess the cycle repeats itself, right? But sorry, I get nervous talking. It's just like, like my kid, he's suffering right now. He's going to be 8 in October, my first son, and he has a lot of anger built into him, and he was diagnosed with ADHD, so he doesn't have social skills, and he's really hurt where he tends to lash out. But I know that, like, he's really amazing though. He's so smart. Like, he likes to rebuild things, take things apart, rebuild them. He likes to learn. He loves Discovery Channel. Like, what kid loves Discovery Channel and just loves to learn, He wants to save the world. He wants to save the animals and the trees. Like, he's amazing. And he's just a little boy. And he has these big dreams. And he tells me, and he says, Mom, one day I'm going to take care of you like you took care of me. So that makes me proud because, at least I'm doing something right? And then my second son, I was going to university in 2016. Yeah, around there. I got enrolled into university, the bus program. And, I thought I could do it. I had it all planned out. And then when I went, it was a struggle because, like, graduating from 2009 and then just being a single parent from there, and then going to school again, that's like a time difference. And I was like, not where I was, like it was hard. It was challenging, writing essays and, balancing your life with, taking care of your kids, your home, yourself, and doing the essays and learning and reading. And it was so hard. And I had 2 children, and, that was just a challenge. That was hard because, I didn't have like a privileged life where I had a mom or a dad to run to when things got hard. I had to struggle and figure it all out on my own. And, it was hard. It was really hard. Okay. What else can I say? Yeah. When I went to university, Like I felt alive. Like I met a lot of amazing people that I still keep in contact with. And, I miss them dearly, and I miss that scenery of being out there and, just talking about myself, or, letting people know my struggles, and they think, oh, she's such a, strong, beautiful woman, which I am. But yeah, that one year I asked my kid's dad, and I said, I need your help. I need, like, I know that you're an amazing father and you do so much for me and my kids. I just need a little extra help. If you could take your son, because he was living at the time in Ontario. And I said, can you take your son off of my hands? Because, university and taking care of 2 kids on my own, it's not easy. So I asked him to step in. But then, like, he still has his struggles of dealing with, what happened in our relationship. Like, he's really angry. I'm not even too sure what's his problem, but yeah, he took my son, and it was supposed to be, well, I get to see him every 2 weeks, and him coming to visit me and his brothers, and then he stopped, just out of the blue. He stopped letting me see my son, and that really hurt. And I haven't seen, my son in 2 years right now. And my son, DeMarco, the oldest one, he misses his brother so much. And my baby doesn't even know his brother, so that really hurts the most. But I'm not going to let that guy take that from me, and I'm going to keep going, because that's just who I am. And, like, you might broken my spirit, but you're not going to break me forever, So I found ways of lost in grief, and, putting myself out there through more programs and resources. And, I'm just a busy mom that's always on the go. And I'm really proud of myself, because, statistically, I'm supposed to be this person that I'm not even. Like, when you grow up in care, people expect you from being this statistic that you're going to end up like your parents. But, I'm strong-willed, and I have my mom. She's my angel in my life. So she keeps pushing me through the hard battles, and I truly believe that, So yeah, it's been a challenge over the years, but I'm happy, I'm happy to go through this journey of healing. And I know that my mom, she's looking down on me, and she's watching me and my kids grow. And like, there are times where I just talk to her, I feel her, like, I feel her around, and I'll talk to her and I'll tell her, I'm so proud, and I know you'd be proud of me too. But yeah, I'm the type of person to just, like, if somebody says I can't do it, then I'm just going to do it, That's just who I am. Or, like, people, there's always going to be those type of people that try to bring you down and tell you can't do anything. But you just got to learn to accept what they feel, and then do what you feel, what's best in your heart, I had a crazy experience. I've been through a lot. I've accomplished many things. I'm still trying to accomplish many things. I have many goals and dreams that I want to achieve. My third son, he's the greatest little man ever. He gives me hope every day. So like you have DeMarco that saved my life, and then you have DeAndre that gave me courage and strength of walking away from abuse. And then you have my little son, and he gives me a lot of hope in life, because without hope, then, you just be gone and feeling like there's nothing, And then now I'm pregnant with my fourth, and, I have 3 kings. Now I'm going to have a girl, my first girl. So I'm excited. My little baby girl. I think she's going to give me lots of love and respect. Like when I think about love, it's like right now I'm learning how to love myself and respect myself. And because like I never knew that, like I never knew what love was until my children's, like till I had my children. But like along the road, I just carried myself to be the strong person, but then I had many challenges in life, so wasn't as perfect as I wanted it to be, but I'm happy now, and I'm working on it, and I'm working towards something amazing, and I'm working towards getting all my kids back home with me, and everything will be fine. Yeah, my son, he's with me right now, so he's a little personality, that one. He makes everybody's, he's like the spirit, like he's just this happy spirit that makes everybody alive, And then he reminds me of DeMarco sometimes, just because I used to carry DeMarco everywhere with me, drag him along with me to anything. And now I'm doing that with my third child, and he's my little sidekick. There's it's just my little sidekick. He's in the other room right now, but he tried to stay here, but he couldn't stay here. He took off, so I'm like, let me have my time. He loves powwow. He loves his culture. Makes me proud because, that's something I never grew up in, right? So watching him into his zone of dancing and singing, pretending to drum, he's going to be amazing. But anyways, goals and dreams, if I could talk about that. There were things like when I was 18 and I finished high school, I set a goal that I wanted to do after high school, and that was getting into esthetician and hairdressing, and discovering that that's not what I really wanted. Like, when you're finished high school at the age of 18 and you just think you got it all figured out, they don't prepare you for the world, right? So that was a struggle. And, I know how to do things. Like, I got interested in something and then I just lost interest in it. And then I had a time frame for myself where I just wanted to explore the world. Because like growing up in this foster home that I grew up for 18 years, I know that they mean well, but they sheltered me and they made me feel like I was never good enough in the world, like they kind of criticized. I kind of felt like it was a racist because like they raised me from a baby to an adult, and there were things that stood out for me when I was growing up, and the things that they treated their own, and then the foster kids that they had, there was 4 of us, and like family pictures. Like that was so beautiful watching. And then, us foster kids were never allowed to be in them. And that really hurt me the most was, like, who am I and why don't they love me as much as they love their own? And, why are they taking care of me when they can't show me love and care? And that's all I asked for when I was growing up. And they didn't like the fact that I had a voice and, I speak up for myself because, man, if I didn't have this voice, then, I'd let people walk all over me and, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, even though I still have that good heart and I try to give, people the understanding of people's stories. Like I'm a helper. I feel like I'm a helper and I want to be a voice for these helpers. And, the one thing that I really want is, helping kids in care, like the ones that are aging out of care. They don't prepare you for, the adult life and what your responsibilities are. Because, when you're a foster kid, you're not loved or cared for. You're just shuffled around and you're so lost that you don't know who you are. And then you catch these addictions, and then you see all these broken kids that are so angry inside, and they do bad things because they find love in another way. Like, if it's a gang, they find that as love. Oh, they're going to respect me and they're going to love me the way I was never loved in that foster home, like things like that, little things like that show. And where to me, I stuck around my own kind where it was, people that were aging out of care that had struggles, and we kind of built each other. We built each other to kind of survive, we built each other, and we try to be there for one another, even though we were suffering in our own problems and addictions and hurt and pain. I've came across many, many, many kids that are just like me, aging out of care. And now I want to be a voice. I want to give back that, I want children to feel loved and they're not alone in this journey, this journey of CFS, that's a big impact in our life that, some people don't understand. And what we need guidance, we need love, we need self-respect and care. We need like more resources that give them opportunity of becoming who they are. And, like, even if it's like my biggest dream is I have this whole vision that I'm gonna, buy this kind of, few apartment buildings and I'm going to fix them up. And then I'm going to give those apartment buildings to the kids that grow out, age out of care. Right. So like, that's just something I want to do. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but you can't, just a dream. Like, that's a dream that I want, I want something to give back to those kids that feel so much in their heart, and just to give them an independent life where, hey, I'm going to be fine. I got my own apartment, I got all these resources, and we need like more motivated social workers that guide and love and care for, because half these social workers are just in it for the money. And, it's pretty sad because, what if that was your kid, What if that was your kid on the side? How would you feel, like things like that. So my dream is to become this big motivator speaker and helping the youth in care and building their self-esteem up, knowing that they could go towards their dreams and goals in life and not feel like they can't, because most of these kids feel like they can't and that they're not good enough and that they're worthless, like that's why you see all these young youth, committing suicide or that are in gangs and doing wrong things. It's not because they want to, it's all about survival, survival. Everybody's trying to survive. Whether you don't have that privileged life, you're trying to survive into something that you're not built for, but you just figure it out on your own. So my dream is to just giving back to my own people, my own people that suffer and care. So that's my big dream. Yeah, I have a lot of dreams, but that one's my biggest dream. And yeah, I feel like I feel good about this. Want to say hi? Go on the camera. Yes. Okay, say look up. And then you're gonna say hello. He likes powwow. Okay, you don't want to go?
Not feeling it?
No.